has much Versace swagger. He 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 has much Versace swagger.
It's typical, they critical, cause my dollars is digital. Looking like a literal miracle, with a spiritual that's cynical. Crime never minimal, keep the shine on my mineral. A divine individual, and time is my centerfold. I hold her like rose gold, even though I can't expect that back. So I continuously stack with facts and never live in fiction. That fake it till you make it shit will have you niggas wishing. My salary reality, we ain't got the same vision. Mobbing in a McLaren, got the same name as my digits, and so do my shoes. Everything I say displayed on the news. From state to state I move, well respected cause I reflect the rules. Diamonds connect the dots, crystal balls on my jewels. Keep a dirt in my pocket, won't be a case that I lose. Leave a handsome tip, my welcome's never abused. The police nod at me and then they let the guy move.
He has much Versace swagger. He has much Versace swagger. He has much Versace swagger. He has much Versace swagger.
Businessman, check your brands before we even shake hands. Hard hat for the plan, contract for the grands. Industries are money trees, so I caught me some land. Sacrifice for paradise, I hope the weak understands. Cause I live with no regrets and I will always collect and won't let you see me sweat the strategies of a vet. Casualties I expect, rules of engagement. When you frequent different places, read expressions of different faces and watch the movement of eyes. Never win from losing, nigga, this is spy versus spy. R.I.P. or P.I. Either do it or you don't, there ain't no attempt to try. First class above the clouds, keep your boy dragonfly. Stack high and comply, cause money's the only thing that guarantees family ties. 45, make me nervous, I don't like no surprise. Born to fully ride, keep them headless like Versace so I don't waste my time.
He has much Versace swagger. 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 He has much Versace swagger.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father. Come to Papa.
I love you, Daddy.
Yes, we do this the Catholic way. Juggernaut gives a fuck not about what you say.
You, Daddy.
You will understay, assume the position. The dungeon smelling like fishes. We leave them hanging from the ceiling. This the Inquisition, man on a mission. Don't take it personal, this is nothing but business. My game is universal, and you'll see when I'm finished. Pretty girl with them hurt holes, it'll make her pay attention. And now she washing dishes, minding her own. This is Africa, I keep the bucket naked at home. When I lift my garage, you see that candy and chrome. When I speak it's a lion's roar, so don't mind my tone. You niggas better act wrong. Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins Sins of the father. Yes, I create and I break law, and I do have the intention to take
I love you, Daddy.
Laying punishment don't mean that I hate y'all. Must have forgot we came up off them 8
I love
balls.
you, Daddy.
Ball, yes, we will. Put my dick on your heart. I give a fuck how you feel. Why you niggas
I love you,
staring at me
Daddy.
when I grab the wheel? Make $1 billion for your children. What the fuck is a meal? What the fuck is
I
a
love you,
deal?
Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father. You niggas move too messy to come and test me. You fuck around and receive the blessing with
I
no
love you,
confessing.
Daddy.
Face the rejection, space of consequences, immaculate conception, and make you drop all defenses.
I love you,
Stop
Daddy.
your crying and bitching, lying and snitching, riding over these ditches because they just keep the riches.
I love
Pray
you,
for my
Daddy.
constituents, memorize the blueprint and leave a poltergeist fingerprint. We ain't about that bullshit.
I love you,
Sins of the
Daddy.
father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the Lord, a chessboard that I was made for, and let 1,000,000 skeletons misclaim
I
right
love you,
about my
Daddy.
paws. I kick down doors from the Luxor. This is thoughts cut from a different cloth. Nigga, fuck
I
with
love you,
thought.
Daddy.
Silly bitches get taught or get caught in the onslaught. This is order, then I buy some clock for my sons
love
and
you,
daughters.
Daddy.
Ain't no water for a beggar. This is manna the mega. And always remember, nigga, it is Alpha
I love
over
you,
Beta.
Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
Sins of the father.
I love you, Daddy.
That was a lot. Unpack that, nigga. Yeah, what's cracking? Here we are, the Money Religion again. The God 720. I do appreciate everybody who has arrived to the show, to the field of explanation is what I do. I told y'all yesterday we was gonna go over some healthy points, or the more favored and likable points of the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. As you all know, I'm selling it right. I'm selling. You get them for free when you purchase the $100 discount, which you save about $200. Okay, when you purchase the Kicked Out of Heaven, Volume 1, 2, and 3, the Black Man's Bible, Real Nigga Etiquette, and the Ethereal Law. Get it now before it's gone. I was just contacted by a couple of bookstores today that said we want everything. So, you better get them now while the getting is going and the going is good. And the getting is good. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, don't forget to donate to the God 720, because I am the last man standing in this thing called the real information. This is the Scholastic Academia zone, and that's the only zone I'm going to play with. You understand? Because obviously I was not assisted with writing letters to universities to be accepted inside of a university. But I also knew that what I wanted to know about life and all the things going on around us was not going to be inside of a university. I knew very well and clear that they weren't going to tell me the truth about shit. And in reality, you're supposed to be, focused on one little subject to stay in that one little hole for 20, 30, 40, 50 odd years and not ever be able to see the big picture, because you are supposed to look at the situation as if great government and Uncle Sam looks at the big picture for you. Well, they have failed. Okay. And you definitely have failed in the space of your law and litigation on relationships. You have failed within the space of maintaining a system of courting for the cultures that you created. You did create these cultures. You did create the Hispanic culture. You did create the African American culture. And those elements of the African American culture that is definitely sound to be embedded as our culture, black people are traitors against, basically. They didn't keep on to their James Brown and their Ronald Isley. You niggas play Chris Brown. You understand? There's been no respect towards the Duke Ellington. Do you understand? There's no respect towards, the instruments, the Jimi Hendrix and the guitar. There's no respect. And we did not hold these things dear. So that definitely shows you that appreciation amongst the black mind is very minimal. Okay. You can also see that with the demise of many of these individuals as their the great embarrassment of what happened with their estate was all over the news and exploited for everybody to know that the Negro doesn't have any honor within his position of those of the greats that are created out of his race, and they do not conceal, nor do they have the power to conceal what occurs with these individuals and their estate when they pass. And that's really what's being told to the planet. And this is also why, we get treated the way we do when it comes to court situations, when it comes to interracial relationships, so on and so forth. Okay. So yeah, I definitely want to go in on some good things that's inside the book. The Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. I'm looking at it right now. So I know we got stuck on letter A and B. And one of my things that I was going to do was pick out many words underneath each letter, and then speak on that in a video. But over time, and I sold all my copies that I had, and I no longer have copies available, so I just really didn't find any point in doing it. It is available on Amazon. I know it's it's pricey. It's very pricey. um I don't know if I'll be able to have copies of my own to sell directly to people. So I can't ask you to depend or wait on that. Your best bet right now is going to be the sale that I have provided when it comes to you purchasing all 6 books, and then you get the encyclopedias in ebook. And this material is put together so well, and there's so many different explanations and things that are related to women in the book. Of course, that it's better to have the PDF than to have nothing. Um, yeah, you definitely want to have that because it is a reference material, even though it's so interesting that you would want to sit down and go through the literature on your own time, when you don't have anything else to do, or when you definitely want it at your fingertips when you meet a new girl and you want to know the definition of her name, and um, what's going on with the energy inside that name, and yeah, how to better keep her happy, basically, is what that is. Okay. So let's see what we have here. I'm looking at some things right now. I'm trying to pull up something here. I even got words in here like bubble bath, the bull's feather. A bull's feather is a horn. He wears the bull's feather. He is a cuckold. And I do have a very long description in here on what a cuckold is. Okay. Because this is a lot of social dynamics that are in between the male and the female are also inside the book. So the book isn't just um fully focused on just the woman. Also, all social elements that we use in between us, sort of like heartbreak is defined in here. Let me see what we have here. It's a lot of different things defined in here. If you have any questions or any words that you want to throw out relative to the ladies, then we will go ahead and do that. Cadence is a female's name. It is a name derived from an English word meaning rhythm and flow. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, I think we'll start with the C letter today. So let me see what we got. But we're going to be bouncing through the entire thing. Okay. And I have to do a lot of scrolling. Once again, this is one of these 500, 600 page books I wrote. So bear with me, people. Please do. I think tomorrow we're going to be going over the P&L, the profits and losses. Let me see what we have here. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Let's see what it looks like on the screen. Okay, there it is. All right. I think that's a little bit better for you. And no, it does not. When you purchase it, it shows up as a PDF. It does not show up as a it does not show up as a Microsoft Word. It is a PDF. Somebody asked a question, just got on the stream. Is the encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women on Amazon the same as the physical copies you were selling? Yes, it is. So when you go to Amazon, they have the physical copies, and you can also purchase the ebook or look through the ebook there as well if you have Kindle. Okay. So yes, these physical copies, which are 200 a piece on the Amazon, is what you will be getting. Okay. So roughly you'll be spending about anywhere from $350 to $450 to get the full material. Okay. So let's see what we got here. That's Cadence. I just read the word Cadence. Let's go over some other names here. Okay. A Camila. This name originated in ancient Etruria, now Tuscany, the region around Florence. Its meaning is an attendant at a sacrifice. The Camillae were the boy and girl attendants respectively. May also be related to chamomile, another flower. In the Aeneid, Camilla was the name of a queen of the Bochi who was given as a servant to the goddess Diana and raised as a warrior virgin of the Amazon type. So a girl named Camilla will be very chaste. She won't be quick to give up the coochie, and even if she does, she's using that as her warrior aspect. Okay. So let me see here. A lot of women have weaponized sex, basically, is what I'm saying. The name Candace is origin African, a royal title from the Bible, ultimately deriving from the term Candake, a title for a queen or queen mother in the ancient African kingdom of Kush. Pliny writes that the queen of the Ethiopians bore the title Candace, and indicates that the Ethiopians had conquered ancient Syria and the Mediterranean. Okay. Now, let me see what we have here. We have Caitlin. Angelicized as Kathleen, or that's with a C, or Kathleen with a K. Catalin comes from Katherine, meaning pure, in relation to Katharos, which also means pure. And I got C. Catherine here. Okay. Cake and Cunnilingus Day is a satirical holiday celebrated on the 14th of April as a female response to Steak and Blowjob Day, which is celebrated on March 14th. On this day, women are supposed to eat cake and receive oral sex, cunnilingus. The event has been created as a female response. Yeah, observe one. Right. Okay. So there it is on that one. The call girl. A call girl or female escort is a sex worker who, unlike a streetwalker, does not display her profession to the general public, nor does she usually work in an institution like a brothel, although she may be employed by an escort agency. The client must make an appointment, usually by calling a telephone number. Call girls often advertise their services in small ads in magazines and via the internet. Although an intermediary advertiser, such as an escort agency, may be involved in promoting escorts, while less often, some may be handled by a pimp. Call girls may work either in call, where the client comes to them, or out call, where they go to the client. Some porn stars are known to escort as well. Camel toe. Camel toe or camel toe is a slang for the outline of the labia majora, the outer lips of the vulva, in tightly fitting clothes, owing to a combination of anatomical factors and the fabric tension in the crotch area and the outer labia and mons pubis may. Okay. Together display a shape resembling the forefoot of a camel. Camel toe commonly occurs as a resulting of wearing clothes. Yeah. Okay. With vertical tension, such as spandex, active wear, or athleisure bottom wear, hot pants or swimwear. See cloven foot. The cloven foot. Yeah, you got to get that part. Because in the medieval time, that's how the devil was identified, was by the cloven foot. Okay. So whenever during the medieval times, whenever there's a story written about an individual who would come into town and nobody knew where this nigga came from, and he had great stories and could speak many languages, and they would always check to see if he had the cloven foot, and that would predicate his animal status, or him being half man, half goat. Okay. And I have camera here, the arched roof, vault. A camera is a vault. Camera from camera obscura, the dark chamber. In camera, in the judge's private chamber, antechamber, chamberlain, Spanish, camera, camarilla, champerity, champignon, a mushroom of the fields, champagne. Campaign. Sorry about that. Campaign, champion, champagne, which are all the same word. Hence, also the province in France, whence the wine, possibly chimney. First, a vaulted opening, as over a forge, as in a primitive tent or hut. Also in some modern homes with a fireplace in the middle of the living room. Camaradier is a comrade, one that shares a chamber. First of soldiers in barracks, comrades in arms. Okay, so all of that is in the camera. Okay, the science inside the word camera. So let's keep it going here. Okay. Let's see what else we got. The goddess Kar, or Kor, or Ker, or Kier, or Kurdu. One of the most widespread name cycles of the Indo-European goddess. Her sacred city in Sardinia was Caralis, the modern Cagliari. Her sacred city in the Chersonese was Cardia, the goddess Kar. Gaulish tribes called the Camutes traced their descent from her. Chartres was named after her, as Carna and Carmenta. She became the Etruscan Roman mother of carnivals, of charms, and of alphabetical letters. In the time of Alexander the Great, the land of Persia was known as Carmania, Car the moon. Irish legend said from that land, three power magicians came to Aaron along with their mother Carmen, evidently an idol of the goddess. The magicians were later driven out, but they left their mother behind them. Okay, so that car, also inside the word carnival, and you call your vehicle a car, the definition of car is moving meat, moving flesh. Okay, and that's what a car does. It moves flesh. You are the flesh that's inside of it as it moves. Okay, so let me see what we have here. We have Cassandra, also spelt with a K. Cassandra is a given name of Greek origin in Greek mythology. Cassandra was the daughter of King Priam and Queen Hecuba of Troy. She had the gift of prophecy, but was cursed so that none would believe her prophecies. Also means the one who shines and excels over men. So if you get into a relationship with a girl named Cassandra, there will be a lot of fights because her energy is designed to excel over you, as Cassandra is usually a name of women of the last generation. So when you look into the women of, if you look into the names of females from the last generation, a lot of their names are of war goddesses, and that was the generation that influenced the whole. They basically made a trend out of divorce. Okay, so that's what LinkedIn. This is a good example right here of all the different names that could come out of one name that are all connected in. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go over that whole list. You gotta purchase the book. Okay. Carmen. Its first root is Spanish and Italian, and used as a nickname for Carmel and Carmelo. From Hebrew Carmel, God's vineyard. The second origin is from Latin Carmen, which means ode or poem. So basically, it means the name Carmen is drunken poem. Okay, because God's vineyard is wine. So that would be a good um, drunken poetry. There's no negative poetry that's coming out, right? And it's also the root of the English word charm. Okay. The name of the Roman goddess Carmenta, based on this roots, come from purely Latin origin, meaning song, truthful, poetry. Right. So, this is the science. If you own a record label or something, you call, and you got a female that's a singer and she wants to have a name, you call her Carmen. Or you may call the first album that she puts out Carmen, or her first single may be Carmen. Okay. Let me see here. Carolina. Carolina is a Spanish, English, Italian, Portuguese, Polish, Czech, Slavic, German, Galician, Dutch, and French, derived from the masculine name Carolus, which is Latin for Charles, generally meaning free man or freeholder. Carolina can also mean song of happiness or joy, from a French origin, or even prettiest woman of the town from a Spanish origin. So, that's also why we have Carolinas were part of the first 13 colonies, right? Because it means free man or freeholder, which we can go over this other word, kidnapper, which that's where the term kidnapper came from, is to nap a kid. Kidnapping is not done for adults. Okay. There's a different term for that. So kidnapping in that term originated in little children that were being taken from orphanages or being taken from parents in old Europe to send to America to work on the plantations. The individuals who were taking these kids were called kidnappers. Okay. Cassidy. Cassidy is a given name derived from an Irish surname and ultimately from the Goidelic given name Cassid, meaning clever or curly haired. The name Cassid comes from the Irish word element Cass. Okay. Variations, it's Cassidy, and also Kennedy. Okay. Let me see here. Casual dating or a casual relationship is a physical and emotional relationship between two people who may have casual sex or a near sexual relationship without necessarily demanding or expecting the additional commitments of a more formal romantic relationship. Motives for casual relationships vary. There are significant gender and cultural differences in acceptance of and breadth of casual relationships, as well as in regrets about action/inaction in those relationships. Casual dating may or may not entail partner exclusivity. In each case, the relationship's dominance in the lives of those involved is being voluntarily limited, and there is usually a sense that the relationship is intended to endure only so long as both parties wish it to. Casual relationships sometimes include mutual support, affection, and enjoyment, which underpin other forms of a loving relationship. A casual relationship is sometimes referred to as no strings attached relationship. Okay. We need to define these things. Okay. We need to do that because people are running around using words and all types of form. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about or doing. There's about a there's about a 5-page definition on the word cat. So we're not going to go into that right now. All right. And there's many different saints named Catherine. And I had to put them all in here because their feast days are days that you want to go ahead and buy, flowers for her or buy her a little perfume or whatever based on, for instance, okay, here goes one that's real short right here. Okay. I'll give you an example. Let me highlight it so y'all can see what the fuck going on here. Cecilia. Okay. Cecilia is a name for females of Latin origin as well as a nickname for Cecilia Celeste or Celestina. The name is often derived from the Roman family name Celius, thought to originate in the Latin Salem, which means heaven. Saint Cecilia, her feast day is November 22nd. Her attributes are flute, organ, roses, violin, harp, baritone, harpsichord, the songbird, and singing. Her patronages are hymns, great musicians, poets, Albie France, and some locations, and pipe organs. So what do? You get a girl named Cecilia and her birthday ain't got nothing to do with the feast day of the saint. So maybe you get a Cecilia that's a Gemini that's over there in June, right? And the Saint Cecilia's feast day is on November 22nd. So then you buy her roses, since the attributes of Cecilia is a roses. You buy her roses on November 22nd. Okay. I mean, of course you do something for her birthday, but this is the hidden zone right here. And then take her to a restaurant where somebody's playing a violin or a piano. Okay. Or somebody is singing softly in the background. And that's how you sync it. You understand? That's how you put that down. So we seek happiness. And the reason why you have to seek for happiness in the females is because happiness is the only zone where the woman is connected with the uterus, and there's no interruption, there's no anger evolving. The only way that they are in full agreement is when they're happy. Hence, when you make a woman laugh, her clit jumps. Okay. So that is a direct connector factor. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, we have the word cellulite here. We're not going to go into that, but it's definitely in the book what cellulite is. We also have android fat distribution, which android fat distribution is the fat that collects on the arse and shit and all of that. So yeah, this book is definitely gives you a lot of examples for the what's going on biologically as well. Charlotte is a female name that is a form of the male name Charlotte, a diminutive of Charles. It is of French origin, meaning free man or petite. And the name dates back to at least the 14th century. Strong, virile, and vigorous. So they have Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. And all of that lines into being free. And that is definitely what the point was of the exploration to America from Europe. Okay. Now, I say here, and when it says the alchemy part behind the definition, this is me giving the extra juju to the situation. A lot of masculine energy is in this name, which may contribute to being combative towards men, essentially to prove the definition of her name. Hence, the poem below expresses the neglect of her own newborn child, shown as a form of strength. Charlotte, having seen his body, born before her on a shutter, like a well-conducted person, went on cutting bread and butter. Okay. So she will keep her, she will keep her presentation for the public, but she's definitely, will turn a blind eye to the drama that she has caused, which is definitely a situation for a Charlotte, Carolina, because of its slavery history, right? So we can see that there, right? Let me see here. No, I'm not gonna read charm. Let me see here. I have champagne room defined in here. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, there's a lot of poems in here that explains the operation inside of a word. And I thought that was very important. So you got the full engine on how a thing is going to be functioning. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Child marriage laws are in here. Child neglect is in here. Your childhood sweetheart. Childhood sweetheart is a reciprocating phrase for a relationship, but not a partnership between young persons. This may come about by an extension of friendship, physical attraction, or develop from natural affinity. The relationship is usually platonic and lasts a short to medium period of time. This experience forms the basis of subsequent future relationships later in childhood and or adulthood. Lord have mercy. Do you understand? This zone right here is being interrupted by video games and it's malfunctioning. Courting is malfunctioning, understanding of the opposite gender and how they operate and all of that. So it's very important for you to understand the status or to go through the experience of the childhood sweetheart. So let's go over this again. This experience of the childhood sweetheart forms the basis of subsequent future relationships later in childhood and or adulthood. Usually, an individual will have no more than one childhood sweetheart, as this term is indicative of a milestone in the growth, development, and maturity of a young person. It is indicative of a milestone in the growth, development, and maturity of a young person. In ideal circumstances, the term applies mutually to both parties and corresponds both ways, hence the plural being childhood sweethearts. The relationship may involve romantic love or may be an extension of a close friendship. Often, intimacy by way of kissing will occur in order to show affection. This is in addition to hugging, cuddling, holding hands. The term first love may also apply in certain situations. Occasionally, in later years, these friendships are rekindled following separations or passing of their adult partners, which lead to a later life marriage, union, etc. These instances are notable as they are made popular by media coverage. See Puppy Love, as Puppy Love is also inside the book. Okay. Chivalric romance as a literary genre of high culture. It is to be chivalric, okay? To have chivalry and romance is a literary genre of high culture. That means only those with class conduct themselves in said format. Okay. Heroic romance or chivalric romance is a type of prose and verse narrative that was popular in the noble courts of high medieval and early modern Europe. They were fantastic stories about marble-filled adventures, often of a chivalric knight errant portrayed as having heroic qualities who goes on a quest. It developed further from the epics as time went on. In particular, the emphasis on love and courtly manners distinguishes it from the chanson, digest, and other kinds of epic in which masculine military heroism predominates. So, the real chivalry and what the knights were doing are inside the Kicked Out of Heaven Volume 1. But I had to put that in here so you can understand how romance has been developed over time. And the first thing it says, it is a literary genre of high culture. So the literary genre of high culture that's been, the standard of America is Shakespeare. And there's a lot of Shakespeare all throughout the whole book. So the name Chloe Let me see here. Let me light this up. Okay. Chloe is a feminine name meaning blooming or fertility. She made it be your pull out game best be strong, fucking with a Chloe. Okay. The name ultimately derives through Greek from the Proto Indo European root, which relates to the colors yellow and green. Okay. So on her birthday, get her a custom green Packers jersey, is how you do that. The common scientific prefix to chlorine, or chloroplast derives from the same Greek root. In Greek, the word refers to young green foliage or shoots of plants in spring. So she may be a plant lady. You may get a clo that you find out of the hood. Okay, you find her in the bowels of the projects. Okay, and she is chaste and she is cute. So you get her, and then you do what? You take her to a nursery in Beverly Hills. And then when you take her in the nursery in Beverly Hills, you have excited a zone that she didn't even know she had in her. And then you buy her plants, flowers, and things of this nature. And then she will become great plant lady. And then she will begin a TikTok with plants. And because her name is Chloe, and that's automatically related to the plants, it assists within entrepreneurism. So then she gets on the TikTok, blow, 1 million views overnight, and she ain't even read a book about plants yet. She has just have a natural affinity towards this zone because it's installed in her name, and she may not know this. Okay. So the patronage that is of a saint who is Saint Chloe of Celeria, and the feast day is the 12th of July. Her attributes are armor, banner, sword, horse, lily. Okay. Military personnel, people ridiculed for their piety, and women in the armed forces. Okay. So when it comes to that side of things, she may like, armory. You might want to take her to the gun range every now and again. You might want to take her to, what was those competitions they call you running and for 2-3 days and doing all of this fucking shit. She might like camping, things of that nature. She may like, you buy her a fatigue dress, and that may, you know uh excite her. You understand? So that's how you do that. All right. Chloris means it was a nymph goddess who was associated with spring, flowers. Okay, yeah, the same thing. Chloris, same thing. Okay, so let's see what we keep on going here. The Christina piercing, also known as a Venus piercing, is a female genital piercing. It is located where the outer labia meet, below the pubic mound. The Christina piercing is anatomy dependent. It has a high rejection rate and is not possible for all women due to anatomical variation. The piercing does not facilitate sexual stimulation and can be found uncomfortable when pressure is applied. It is usually pierced with either a custom-made curved barbell or surface bar to reduce the risk of rejection. Now, you got to watch out. Girls who have any type of piercings down there usually are too, sexually oriented in the mind, or there's been a lot of sexual trauma that has occurred to her younger in her life. So she doesn't mind about getting stapled down there with some fucking beads or some fucking crazy shit. And because it's very obvious that the flesh down there is just too sensitive for all of that type of activity. So, watch out with girls that are pierced. Okay. I wouldn't advise that. Don't get into no relationship with the type of women. They're gone. Okay. Christine, Hebrew word for Messiah, also meaning anointed. Christine is mainly a feminine name of Egyptian origin. In Egyptian, it is read as Christ, Krst. It is a name in regular usage in French, English, German, Scandinavian, Dutch, Irish, and Scottish cultures, and it is often associated with the meaning follower of Christ. Variations are Christina, Christina with a K, Christine with a K, Kristen, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let me see here. Sierra. Let's go to Sierra. Okay. Sierra, it is a feminine version of the name Sierran, meaning dark haired. And it was also the name of Saint Sierra, a 7th century Irish saint venerated by the Roman Catholic Church. The name is often anglicized as Kiera or Kiera. Saint Sierra of Ireland was an abbess in the 7th century who died in 679. Her history is probably commingled with another Sarah who lived in the 6th century. And you'll have to look that up because I don't have it in here. All information pertaining to saints are not available. Okay. Let me see here. The Cinderella is originally a story that comes out of ancient Egypt. Okay, let's go over Cinderella and the Cinderella complex right real quick. Let me see what we got. Cinderella, the story of Rhodopis, recounted by the Greek geographer Strabo, sometime between around 7 BC and AD 23, about a Greek slave girl who marries the king of Egypt, is usually considered to be the earliest known variant of the Cinderella story. The oldest known oral version of the Cinderella story is the ancient Greek story of Rhodopis, a Greek courtesan living in the colony of Naucratis in Egypt, whose name means rosy cheeks. That's what we all love, is the rosy cheeks. The story is first recorded by the Greek geographer Strabo in his Geographica, book 1733. The Egyptians tell the fabulous story that when she was bathing, an eagle snatched one of her sandals from her maid and carried it to Memphis. And while the king was administering justice in the open air, the eagle, when it arrived above his head, flung the sandal onto his lap. And the king, stirred both by the beautiful shape of the sandal and by the strangeness of this occurrence, sent men in all directions into the country in quest of the woman who wore the sandal. And when she was found in the city of Naucratis, she was brought up to Memphis and became the wife of the king. The same story is also later reported by the Roman orator Aelian, from 125, who lived from 175 to 235. In his miscellaneous history, which was written entirely in Greek, Aelian's story closely resembles the story told by Strabo, but adds that the name of the pharaoh in question was Psammaticus. Aelian's account indicates that the story of Rhodopis remained popular throughout antiquity. Herodotus, some 5 centuries before Strabo, records a popular legend about a possibly related courtesan named Rhodopis in his histories, claiming that she came from Thrace, was the slave of Iadmon of Samos, and a fellow slave of the storyteller. Aesop was taken to Egypt in the time of Pharaoh Amasis and freed there for a large sum by Charaxus of Mytilene, brother of Sappho, the lyric poet. The Cinderella complex. The Cinderella complex was first described by Colette Dowling. It was a female, let's keep that clear, okay, who wrote a book on women's fear of independence, which all books that were used for this material and all books that are recommended are in the back in the volume 2, okay, which there is about a good, I think about a good 5-6 pages full of books and whatnot. So let's keep it moving. By Colette Dowling, who wrote a book on women's fear of independence and unconscious desire to be taken care of by others. The complex is said to become more apparent as a person grows older. The complex is named after the fairy tale character Cinderella. It is based on the idea of femininity portrayed in that story, where a woman is beautiful, graceful, polite, supportive, hardworking, independent, and maligned by the females of her society. But she is not capable of changing her situations with her own actions and must be helped by an outside force, usually a male, i.e., the prince. Okay, let me see here. Okay, let's keep reading. Others point to Ronald Fairbairn's concept of mature dependency to challenge cultural disparagement of dependency in favor of an ideal of isolated independence. Carol Gilligan's championship of a web of connections as a feminist goal rather than the solitary male hero is also invoked. Okay. To defend the Cinderella complex's tendency to define the self in terms of a mate settled relationship. Okay, so you see how that works? Cinderella complex is based on the female mentality to always be reliant on others. And and there's a whole nother layer to it where women just like to keep a lot of action going. There's got to be a lot of shit constantly moving around, whether there's a bunch of kids, whether there's music always playing in the background, whether there's a bunch of goddamn animals running around. There's always got to be some fucking shit fucking moving. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So Cindy. Cindy is a name that derives from Cynthia, or light Lucinda. Mount Cynthus is a mountain in Greek mythology, originally diminutive or hypocorism of Cynthia or Lucinda. It is also commonly used as a name on its own right. Variations, there's a lot of different Cindys, okay? A male dolphin that informally married a human. See human animal marriage, which is also defined in the book. Circuses. These were live sex shows performed before a group of men. Often they involved prostitutes engaging in striptease, followed by oral sex, which was that was for American brothel time period, basically. But like I said, everything is all, it has reference to where all of this information is coming from. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Do we have any questions? Let me check if we got any questions. This is I'm reading directly out of volume 1 as of right now. Oh, we already in an hour, so let's see if I can go through some more. Cause boy, yeah, I know this stuff is heavy, ain't it? This is heavy game. Yeah, this is the Matrix. That's why you have to donate to the 720. Okay, what is the clitoral hood? We're not going to go through that, but just know clitoral hood and clitoral hood piercing is in here as well. Okay. That's why you got to come to the 720, man. I explained the Matrix, man. We gonna do the Matrix up in here. You niggas ain't finna to do no cloak over the eyes, nigga. We finna see all the bullshit you motherfuckers try to set us up. Yeah, man. Fuck that shit. A nigga is born to the losing race on this planet, for number one, and then for number two, is born on some setup shit. You not finna set up a goddamn thing. Fuck your traps, nigga. Fuck all of that. And if I feel as if you have this system designed to attack me and all of this other shit, we're gonna have to go for the Achilles heel. We will shut you down. I was just born on this planet. Y'all motherfuckers had this dumb shit going on way before I got here. And if you thought I was just finna fit in the groove, nigga, you got another thing coming, nigga. Fuck you. That's how that works. The fuck? You ain't born on no goddamn planet to be attacked, nigga, and be your goddamn indirect slave and toy boy, nigga. You lost your goddamn mind. We are not here to experience victimization. You understand? Okay. Yeah, talk about the main ingredients that are found in colognes. That's important information. The colon. Let me see what we have here. Comb. To comb one's head. Okay. To clapper claw or scold anyone. A woman who lectures her husband is said to comb his head. She combed his head with a joint stool. She threw a stool at him. That definition comes out of books from the 1500s. No, I mean, not the 1500s, but like the 1600s, 16 to 1700s. Okay, common law marriage is up in here. Let's go down. We too deep in the seas real quick. And I know y'all want to hear about this copulent. I just saw the word. Should I read that? To clapper claw, nigga. In your goddamn mouth up in here. I had to comb a motherfucker's head back. Let me see here. Stop. Roll the dice. Oh, what was that? This is called the manipulator. Okay. This is the first device. This is where it began with the rose right here. This picture right here. It is called the manipulator. It is underneath the word dildo. Look at this shit. It is steam powered, nigga. Do you understand? Yeah. The dimples of Venus, known as back dimples, Duffy dimples, butt dimples, or veneral dimples, are sagittally symmetrical indentations, sometimes visible on the human lower back, the big back. Okay. just superior to the gluteal cleft. They are directly superficial to the two sacroiliac joints, the sites where the sacrum attaches to the ilium of the pelvis. An imaginary line joining both dimples of Venus passes over the spinous process of the second sacral vertebra. Uh, the term dimples of Venus, while informally is a historically accepted name within the medical profession for the superficial topography of the sacroiliac joints. The Latin name is fossa limbales laterales. Okay, these indentations are created by a short ligament stretching between the posterior superior iliac spine and the skin. Okay. Okay, so we have discharge in here. You got to see bad on the discharge. Okay, let me see here. Doll dresses, skimpy clothing prostitutes wore in brothels or in cribs. Hence the word cribs. Sometimes they were fancy pajamas, also childlike dresses in adult sizes that gave the appearance of a young, girlish prostitute. You see this shit? That's early America. Yeah. Okay. Let's go into some trying to find another goddess up in here. Okay. Donna. Donna is an English name, an English language name meaning lady in Italian. The original meaning is closer to lady of the home and is a title of respect in Italy, equivalent to Don for gentleman or lord. The Italian word for woman, the short form of the honorific nobili, noble donna. Sorry about that. The female form of Don, honorific in Italian. Okay. So with you get a girl named Donna, she gonna be a homemaker, because as it states, she is the lady of the home. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, let me see here. Double standard of aging. A double standard occurs. Let's highlight this real quick. Okay. A double standard occurs when women are held to a higher standard than men with respect to aging. It is most prevalent towards females in the 35 to 55 age range when judging a person with nobody around. Both males and females will judge differently from when judging that same person in a group setting. The physical changes that women undergo through the process of aging affects how they are perceived more strongly than the changes that men experience. Okay. As illustrated in a Berman, Onan, and Floyd study, a female is likely to be judged higher in a private social setting by both males and females than she would in a group social setting. Once the social setting became a group, the women were rated consistently lower in terms of attractiveness when compared to men middle aged and younger. And than they were when in a private setting. In a separate study conducted by Dutish, Zelensky, and Clark, a double standard of aging was evidenced in all represented age groups. It was determined that both males and females were judged lower in attractiveness as they aged. However, the difference in ratings of attractiveness due to age was much greater for women than for men. This study also found a difference in judgment in terms of masculinity and femininity. For men, as they age, their attractiveness was judged as decreasing slightly, and when judged based on masculinity, there was no change. The women, on the other hand, were judged far less attractive with age, as well as being less feminine with age. Okay. Let me see what we have here. Okay, let me see what else we can find. Drop it like it's hot. I do have songs up in here too. Um, yeah, when I redo this, I might be extending it a lot greater because there is new information that I have discovered. Okay, let's see what we got. Edna. A woman named Edna in Hebrew means pleasure, gentleness, and youthfulness. Various women named Edna are referenced in the Old Testament apocryphal books. Thus, Jubilees, where the wives of Enoch, Methuselah, and Terah are also named, and Tobit. The name Edna may also be anglicized from the form of the Irish and Scottish name Ethne, meaning colonel in Gaelic. Okay. The effects of divorce is in here. Uh, Edith, that's probably a name of the older generations, means riches or blessed. Effects of domestic violence on children is defined in the book. Effects of rape is defined in the book. The effects of porn is defined in the book. Let me see here. Egotism, 8 eyes. I will knock out 2 of your 8 eyes, a common Billingsgate threat from one fish nymph to another. Every woman, according to the naturalists of that society, having 8 eyes, viz., 2 seeing eyes, 2 bub eyes, a bell eye, 2 pope's eyes, and a cunt eye. He has fallen down and trod upon his eye, said of one who has a black eye. The Electra complex. What is the Electra complex here? Oh, we're not going to go to that. That's a little bit too heavy to be announcing what the Electra complex is. Okay. So let me see here. And that's one reason why I sort of stand back with a lot of the stuff that I, put together and study is because, the mundane don't understand that these are real studies. They're very immature in how they go about their comprehension of existence because their experience isn't vast. So, for me, who has proven a type of doctor mind with me, um, doing the birth of my son on camera and whatnot, um, I'm in that space, so, but you don't see the books that doctors read, or nor do you see the reports that they put together. That information is not exposed to the public because the public are immature children, and the public need to, you need your cotton candy, and you need your Ferris wheel, and you need all your hallucinogens and your dopes and your drugs to make you feel popular and cool because you're a reject to existence and you're a reject to intellect. And you will be told what to do, just like, you know, um Obama came out and felt as if he could just tell black men what to do on what you need to be voting for because they look at you as a fucking retard and you have no respect towards, the many different sciences that are available to you on this planet, and you have done due diligence in nothing. And because you have not, produced anything that is going to assist mankind or your environment or your society, you are in the mental status of a animal. You are at animal level intellect, and that's where you're going to stay because of your interest level. You're not interested. So because you're not interested, we will do everything for you, and you will remain wearing your diaper until you're fucking 45. You can't put no guns in your name. You can't pay your own fucking bills. You ain't got your fucking name on the lease because you're a child. You understand? And that's how it works. Until you achieve the feats of a man, you're a fucking child. And the reason why I'm speaking like this right now is because this is the status of the majority of black males, and that's just all there is to it. So we have emotional competence, we have emotional contagion, we have emotional detachment. Okay, these things are defined in here as well. We have emotional intelligence, and then we have emotions. Okay, should I read emotions real quick? Emotions is defined as to push, move around, mover, momentum, movement, remove, motion, motive, motif. Leitmotif, commotion, emotion, locomotion, momentum, psychological moment is a valuable term, but is actually a mistranslation of, that's in another language, which referred to the moving force, the motive, momentary, momentous, momentaneous, since the 18th century, largely replaced by instantaneous. Also, motor, mobile, immobile, automobile, locomobile, pushmobile, snowmobile, promote, remote, mutiny, French, emute, motel. So emotions are in the motel. Okay. Blend of motor and hotel. So motel and hotel is where you express your emotions. That's why good sex happens at the hotel or motel when you are cheating on your partner, right? Italian, mozo, mob, shortened from a mobile vulgus, the fickle crowd. Let me see here. The automobile has changed our dress, manners, social customs, vacation habits, the shape of our cities, consumer purchasing patterns, common tastes, and positions in intercourse. The word emotion dates back to 1579 when it was adapted from the French word émouvoir, which means to stir up. The term emotion was introduced into academic discussion as a catch all term to passions, sentiments, and affections. The word emotion was coined in the early 1800s by Thomas Brown, and it is around 1830s that the modern concept of emotion first emerged for the English language. No one felt emotions before about 1830. Instead, they felt other things, passions, accidents of the soul, moral sentiments, and explain them very differently from how we understand emotions today. Some cross cultural studies indicate that the categorization of emotion and classification of basic emotions, such as anger and sadness, are not universal, and that the boundaries and domains of these concepts are categorized differently by all cultures. However, others argue that there are some universal bases of emotions in psychiatry and psychology. An inability to express or perceive emotion is sometimes referred to as alexithymia. Emotions are psychological states brought on by neurophysiological changes, variously associated with thoughts, feelings, behavioral responses, and a degree of pleasure or displeasure. There is currently no scientific consensus on a definition. Emotions are often intertwined with mood, temperament, personality, disposition, or creativity. And I will also include what you have seen since you were a child. Okay, on the response to things that you will mimic from your parents. Okay, so this reinforces that every household is its own culture. Okay, what is it? Erica. Okay, Erica is a feminine form of Eric. Okay, deriving from Old Norse Eric. The first element, EI, is derived either from the older Proto Norse, meaning one alone unique, as in the form Enrik, explicitly, or from Ewaz, a long time eternity. The second element, Rick, stems either from Rick's king ruler or from the therefrom derived Rick Jazz, which means kingly, powerful, rich. The name is thus usually taken to mean sole ruler, monarch, or eternal ruler, ever powerful, eternal ruler, or ever powerful. Favor, benefit, fragrance. The Latin and fragrance or pear is Japanese. The Latin word erica means heath or broom. It is believed that Pliny adapted Erica from ancient Greek. The English common names heath and heather are shared by some closely related genera of similar appearance. The genus Colonna was formerly included in included in Erica. Erica is sometimes referred to as winter or spring heather to distinguish it from Kalana, which is summer or autumn heather. Erica is a genus of roughly 857 species of flowering plants in the family Ericaceae. Erica eugenia is a species of jumping spiders. It is only species in the monotypic genus Erica. Erica annulata is the only species in the monotypic moth genus, Erica of the subfamily Limontrinae. Okay, so I'm glad I read that, because these are Erica is one of those names that have both positive and negative to it. Well, when it comes to your status as a man and being the dominant force in the relationship. So because she has king and ruler and all of that connected inside the name, because Erica without the A is actually Eric. Okay. So king and ruler and powerful and rich and all of that is inside the name. She is definitely, and because of that mentality, it will be a favor and a benefit, and she'll definitely like perfumes and scents and smells. So she's going to be attracted to colognes for sure. So especially because Erica is also a roughly 850 different species of flowering plants, which you'll never be able to run out of flowers to make her happy. All right, and then there's also a species of jumping spiders. Okay, which is very interesting, and definitely spider is an occult insect. Okay, so you have to watch out, because that spider lane is where the anger will come from, and that's when she can invoke the skill to place a web around you and then and compensate you inside that web, even though I don't think jumping spiders operate with webs. So jumping around you, but still in essence, I think jumping spiders have to eat you alive. They don't inject you with any poison that actually liquefies your organs like those of the webs. But anything correlated to a spider, you definitely want to watch out for a psychological web being wrapped around you. And you could be eaten in set format. Okay. So let's keep on going. Let's see what we have here. Okay, Erin is an Irish female name. Its origins may derive from the goddess Iru. In Irish mythology, the word means green water. So she'll like to go out walking around in the woods. She'll go, playing swamps with you and shit. You know what I'm saying? So let me see here. I have all the different types of eros in here as well. Eros is definitely inside the word erogenous zones. Okay. So what is the hymen? Let me see what it says right here. Hymen was the god of weddings and marriage in Greece. Okay. So that's why it's also stated in the Bible that when you knew her, you are now married to her. And that's also why they state nowadays, if she isn't a virgin and chaste when you marry her, then you aren't married to her, nigga. You wouldn't break the hymen. The hymen has to be over your marriage. Of course, it has to sanctify your marriage. Okay. Escapism is a mental diversion from unpleasant or boring aspects of daily life, typically through activities involving imagination or entertainment. Escapism may be used to occupy oneself away from persistent feelings of depression or general sadness. Entire industries have sprung up to foster a growing tendency of people to remove themselves from the rigors of daily life, especially into the digital world. Many activities that are normal parts of a healthy existence can also become avenues of escapism when taken to extremes or out of proper context. And as a result, the word escapism often carries a negative connotation, suggesting that escapists are unhappy with an inability or unwillingness to connect meaningfully with the world and to take necessary action. She's a runner, she's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard. Nigga, exactly that, nigga. I look at that shit. You just a coward bitch. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Escapism, a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker that came straight out of slavery, she wasn't trying to escape nowhere. She kept her monkey ass right up in this goddamn cabin where we gonna have to be until we get this money right and we can do some sharecropping up in the motherfucker. The bitch that stays down is the motherfucker that gets the crown. Do you understand me? Okay. And look at him. You know what I'm saying? Cookie Johnson, she got the crown. Do you understand? Okay. All of them. Bill Cosby's wife got the crown. Do you understand me? Oh, weak ass bitch. Be a fucking scary asshole gonna fucking run away and be because you got into an argument over the goddamn remote control. You didn't put too much motherfucking cheese in my mac and cheese, bitch. We get into a little argument and now you get on the phone, girl, you run away like a old coward ass bitch. That's why you gotta stay away from motherfuckers. Got that anemia, don't got no iron in their blood. Oh, weak ass, petite asshole. Man, don't fuck with no petite bitch. You can see her rib cage and you can see her fucking spinal cord and shit. Man, what the fuck is this weak ass shit? You can hold down a goddamn bowl of motherfucking Captain Crunch in this motherfucker. You done lost your goddamn mind, nigga. Please, them hoes is not about it. I ain't never seen a petite bitch be about it. It ain't about shit. You can't even create the embryo. Bitch, what the fuck is you talking about? You know? The name Estella means star. Okay. Let me see here. Esther right there. Estrogen is up in here. Let me see what else we can get up in here. The eternal feminine is a psychological archetype or a philosophical principle that idolizes an immutable concept of woman. It is one component of gender essentialism, the belief that men and women have different core essences that cannot be altered by time or environment. The conceptual ideal was particularly vivid in the 19th century when women were often depicted as angelic, responsible for drawing men upward on a moral and spiritual path. Thank you. The old world, you understand me. They got some motherfucking order. Among those virtues, variously regarded as essentially feminine, are modesty, gracefulness, purity, delicacy, civility, compliancy, reticence, chastity, affability, and politeness. The concept of the eternal feminine was particularly important to Goethe, who introduces it at the end of Faust, Part 2. For Goethe, woman symbolizes pure contemplation in contrast to masculine action, parallel to the Eastern Taoist descriptions of yin and yang. The feminine principle is further articulated by Nietzsche, that's Friedrich Nietzsche, within a continuity of life and death, based in large part on his readings of ancient Greek literature, since in Greek culture, both childbirth and the care of the dead were managed by women. Domesticity and the power of, to redeem and serve as moral guardian were also components of the eternal feminine. The virtues of women were inherently private, while those of men were public. Okay? This is real shit. God damn it. Let me see here, man. Let me here get some goddamn order. I have etiquette up in here. The forms of etiquette right here. Look at this shit. Okay, we have the forms of etiquette. Okay. You know, I had to bring that to the game. Euphoria, the eunuch, and all of that. Okay, let me see here. Europa, the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Paradise is what this picture is. I thought it was pertinent. We do speak on who Eve was, okay, and her fall from grace, okay. Let's see here. The eavesdropper, Eve's tomb, evil, extra pair bonding. Let me see what else we got here. Here goes the face hugger section right there. You see the face hugger? I'm not going to read that section. No, we're not going to. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Facial foundations and all the chemicals that are inside of them. Hold on, let me see. That's important to read right now. No, I'm not going to read that. A fact is an evil deed. Okay. A factitious disorder. A factitious disorder is a condition in which a person, without a malingering motive, acts as if they have an illness by deliberately producing, feigning, or exaggerating symptoms purely to attain for themselves or for another a patient's role. People with a factitious disorder may produce symptoms by contaminating urine samples, taking hallucinogens, injecting fecal material to produce abscesses, and similar behavior. You lost your goddamn mind, is what that's called. Factitious disorder imposed on another, which basically is Munchausen syndrome, which Munchausen syndrome is also defined in this book. Okay. Let me see here. No, we're not going to read the definition of a fairy right now. What is faith? Faith is an English name that derives from the word faith. It became popularized when the Puritans began using it as a virtue name during the 17th century. Puritans also used faith as part of longer phrase names such as be faithful, faithful, faith my joy, and fight the good faith. Fight the good fight of faith. Yeah, fight the good fight of faith. So when we have so this word it became a virtue name during the 17th century, which is the time period of the 1600s to the 1700s. By the time Faith, the musician, or the R&B singer, shall I say, used this word as her name, it's been a span of 300, 400 years. How much energy is embedded inside that word. Okay. And there's also many paintings of Faith, and she is a saint. Saints, faith, hope, and charity, which is a feast day a day before mine. Fake marriages. A sham marriage or a fake marriage is a marriage of convenience entered into without intending to create a real marital relationship. This is usually for the purpose of gaining an advantage from the marriage, while referred to as a sham or fake because of its motivation. The union itself is legally valid if it conforms to the formal legal requirements for marriage in this jurisdiction, while referred to as a sham or fake because of its motivation. Okay. Let me see here. The fallen woman, falling in love. Okay. All of that is defined in the book. Let me see. False eyelashes can be made of real or synthetic hair on a thin string-like base that is pasted over the natural eyelashes on the eyelid. There have been cases of eye irritation and one case of blindness reported to the FDA. Whether the problems were the result of the adhesive used, the dye on the lashes, or other materials is not clear. Okay, so yeah, we have that in here as well. The false eyelashes are defined in the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women because they do use them, right? So we need to know what the fuck is going on, you know. I'm not going to stay blind to anything. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, let's see here. Okay. No, I'm not going to read all of that. Underneath the word fantasy, fat, fat distribution, is specifically talking about estrogen and its connection with fat distribution. Father absence. Oh, let me see if this is short. I'll read this real quick. Oh, it is not short. It's a very long definition. But I'll read till I see this one point. Let me see here. Basically, they've stated that, well, I'll just read it real quick. Father absence occurs when parents separate and the father no longer lives with his children. Parental separation has been proven to affect a child's development and behavior. Early parental divorce during primary school has been associated with greater internalizing and externalizing behaviors in the child, while divorce later in childhood or adolescence may dampen academic performance. Whilst father absence mainly results from paternal divorce and separation, including parental alienation. Other factors, such as family poverty and developmental difficulties, have been associated with father absence, the effects of which have been explained by various theoretical approaches. Despite limited agreement among researchers regarding the exact significance of fathering, fathers are traditionally deemed a provider of protection and support for the child's development through a number of pathways. Father absence may influence child behavior, especially in early and middle childhood. Father absence often results in a decline in household income and ineffective parenting arising from continued conflicts between parents and psychological distress in the aftermath of the separation. Research has shown that children who have experienced parental separation in early life often face developmental and behavioral difficulties through their childhood. For example, the separation of parents and guardians impacts children's relationship with their parents, their education, their health, and their well being. Many of the studies that have shown the negative effects of father absence on children may have not taken into account other factors that potentially contribute, such as the child's characteristics and relationship with the parents before the separation and child's gender, the family environment before the separation. Okay. Let me see here. This isn't what I was getting into, but um yeah, it's very okay. For female infants, father absence as opposed to presence was associated with a lower risk of dying as well as higher nutritional status. That is to say, father absence was only a statistical predictor of infant death only for male infants. Such a gender difference has been observed despite a strong cultural preference for sons in the area. On the other hand, in developed countries such as the United Kingdom, where father absence may not inflict as much harm on the family's income, the effects of father absence was not noticeably gendered. This suggests that other factors such as household income and cultural norms are significant in the well-being and development of a child. Let me see here. When a young man matures without their biological male role model, this can result in violent reactions to stress and emotions, resistance and hate towards authority, aggression, early rates of sexual encounters, transferences of the mother's negative talk about the father, and pressured ideologies to become the breadwinner. Commonly agreed across authors within the literature on fatherhood is the idea that a girl's relationship with her father serves as the model for all her relationships with men in her life, romantic and otherwise. Many studies conducted produced the same result, that the absence of a father in a daughter's life can lead to increased promiscuity and sexualized activity. One such study was conducted by Ellis et al. Does father absence place daughters at a special risk for early sexual activity and teenage pregnancy? Ellis provides a greater focus on the timing of the father's absence in their daughter's life, but still the results of promiscuity prove contingent on the father being present. From here, researchers have identified a commonality of 5 factors that work to explain how fatherlessness affects development in women psychologically. Okay, and I have them all right here. All right. Hold on. Am I going to read that? I don't know if I read that. Yeah, let's read that. The 5 factors of approach of fatherlessness and how it affects the development in women. One factor is called the unfactor, where first ideas of being unworthy or unlovable get developed in young women. They begin to believe these things, creating a self-fulfilled prophecy where they believe they are unworthy and thus only accept and attract love from men who affirm their own feelings of unworthiness. So that means bum is attracted to bum and they will both get together and beg it bum. Do you understand that? Because they feel unworthy. So this is so how you want to know how you can see this in society? Any woman that's walking around with her hair uncombed and sweatpants and wearing Crocs with some dirty ass socks definitely comes from a position of a thought pattern of not being worthy. Okay. So triple fears factor. where the three commonly identified fears, also known as abandoned child syndrome, shows fears of rejection, fears of abandonment, and fears of commitment. Each fear is initially identifiable in the early stages of life without a father. The fatherless woman cannot help but know the pain of being left. Okay, the fatherless woman cannot help but know the pain of being left, and she will re-encourage that. She will create those situations. The absence of a father can leave a woman feeling abandoned and not good enough, bereaved uncertainty around what it means to be committed and received versus rejected. Okay, being abandoned feels familiar and right, and yet I am terrified of being abandoned. Okay. So being abandoned feels familiar to her and it feels right. So basically, this is one of those positions where you got to sort of like treat her like shit, you know? And so, because that's what she recognizes as what feels right because of the lack of attention or the lack of having a complete family and father in the household. Okay. And yet I am terrified of being abandoned. Generally, what these people will do is to play it safe, is to protect themselves. They will not put themselves in situations that are going to be intimate. Okay. So girls who have problems with being intimate definitely come from a degenerate household and a degenerate family situation. And i.e., in essence, they are also degenerate. They will be highly social, sexual, intellectual, but they will not be intimate. Okay. Now, and that highly social, sexual, and intellectual is to trump the absence of attention that they got from their father. So they're trying to put these things in place to maintain attention from a man, but they don't know how a man is going to respond, and they also expect you to not have an emotional response. They just expect you to just fuck and leave. Okay, sexual healing factor, which is not commonly identified across women of multiple age ranges and cultures for sexual expression, tends to serve as primary indications of fatherlessness in a woman. The sexual healing factor in girls and women is primarily about control. This sexual behavior exists on a spectrum ranging from promiscuity to a complete and utter avoidance to intimacy. In both extremes, the girl is able to maintain a sense of control, deciding exactly what sex will look like for them. The over factor is more explicitly defined as overeating or achieving, but to the point where it can be identified as obsessive and addictive. So the obese women and those who are the ones that are trying to be the CEOs are fall underneath the over factor for overeating or achieving because of their fatherlessness, and they're doing this in order to intimidate. Hence, the female of obesity is trying to intimidate by size and weight. So and with the hopes that you don't that it will decrease the possibility of any type of physical violence that she may invoke by talking to you crazy, because in essence she doesn't know how to talk to a man, or by achieving a higher status, which is also supposed to be a space of intimidation, which is you know done as an over factor of not being protected during the course of her being raised. Okay, so she's going to go into a space of you know um trying to earn as many finances as possible because she feels abandoned. These are deep subconscious psychological spaces, subconscious, unconscious. So the rad factor, which is most commonly expressed as rage, anger, and depression. These emotions tend to be expressed and identified as contributing to the emotional state of young women with absent fathers. Okay, so that is correlated to all the women that you see that want to fight in the middle of the street and think they fighting and think they getting into a ring. You are psychologically defunct. You have malfunction, motherfucker. And that's just what it is. You're fucked up. Okay, and I don't want none of your fucked up ass shit coming my way. I'm gonna tell you right now. And that's why 720 ain't got no domestic violence. I ain't never had no car keyed. I ain't never had no fucking clothes thrown out no window. I ain't never paid no motherfucking child support. I've taken care of mine because I identify that you are decrepit within the brain. So because you are decrepit within the brain, you are not fit to raise a goddamn thing, and we can see that by our crime rates right now, can't we? Right. So based on the 2018 U.S. Census Bureau, 11 million single-parent households, 80% of them are fatherless, breaking down to 1 in every 4 children born, totaling a percentage of 81.5%. Out of that 81.5% that were raised by single mothers, 34% were poor, 26.8% were jobless the entire year, and 30.3% had food insecurity. 2/3 of these families were white, 1/3 were black, and 1/3 were Hispanic defined. It did not take into account the 53% of American Indians and Alaskan Natives, as well as the 17% Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, children recorded within these single-parented homes. Do you understand? Nigga. That's why I had to put the books together. That's why I had to put the math together. I don't need to do no great lecture and try to tell everybody, look at me and pay tickets at the door. Nigga, buy the information and have it forever. The fuck is the dumb shit? Buy the information, have it forever, pass it on to your children, attain a sense of ownership in this motherfucker is how we do it. That's one reason why I got the heirloom in the Black Man's Bible on the first page. Attain a sense of ownership and passes something down. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? There is no honor in the operation, So let me see here. Oh, this is the feline scale. This is interesting. We'll end on this. This is interesting. Let's look at this shit. Hold on. You got to see this, nigga. Okay, watch this. The feline scale. Okay. Based on a woman's age, this scale classifies women who prey on younger men for their sexual appetite as felines. The ages of 0 to 12 are house cat. The ages 13 to 17 are bobcat. The ages of 18 to 21 are a wildcat. The ages from 22 to 29 are the lynx. The ages to 30 to 39 is puma. The ages 40 to 49 is the claim to fame cougar. Okay. The ages of 50 to 59 are the jaguar. Okay. The ages 60 to 68 is panther. The age of 69 is pussycat. The ages of 70 to 79 is cheetah. The ages of 80 to 89 is leopard. From 90 to 99, she is a tiger. And if she is still sexually active after the age of 100, she is considered a lioness. Do you understand how that works? Wild shit. Yeah, it's all wild because we need to understand, okay, how detailed things are around us. And we over here don't know a goddamn thing. This is what you look like when it's the female dominance in mammals. Do you see this? This is the bonobo primate who is abused. He is scared. He is bewildered. Do you see the patches of hair, nigga? This is what happens when you let a woman run your house, nigga. You're looking for your beer. You were looking for the bottle of whiskey. Do you understand? Life has let you down. Let me get the fuck out of here. Yo. So this is it, B. This is it. If you want to get the Encyclopedia of the Alchemy of Women, what you do right now is you purchase all 6 books, The Kicked Out of Heaven, Volume 1, 2, and 3, because you have to go through the witchcraft in order to get to this stuff. And then the Black Man's Bible, The Real Nigga Etiquette, and the Ethereal Law for $100 right now. And it's kind of funny. I said that shit to my homie one time. I was like, man, all these books on the road, people probably think I'm some type of pervert or something. He said, nah, that's not what's going on, nigga. You gave niggas they put the pussy back, nigga, after fucking the white man then goddamn pounded that shit out during the 1600s, 1700s and left you niggas with nothing, So yeah, I gave it back to you. The most important thing, home, the heaven, You understand, on this planet. So I'm finna get up out of here, man. I done ran my time up. You know, y'all hit my line. You purchase the books. You get the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women for free. Don't fuck around with the shit. This is all reality right here, my dude. So I'll be back here tomorrow. We're going to talk about it. We're probably going to go in on the profits and the losses. You dig what I'm saying? So make the purchases, donate to the guys 720, because the donations are going to the building of an empire for all of us. And we might talk about that empire a little bit tomorrow. You understand? So be here, be there, be square, you know, be oval, be circle, whatever the fuck you want to be diamond, nigga, is where we heading. You dig what I'm saying? There goes the donate for the Cash App right there. And then tomorrow at 2:00, I will be here, and I hope you are here as well. And once again, I definitely appreciate you all spending your time. You could have been anywhere, but you decided to be here with the God. You dig what I'm saying? And let's go ahead and brandish the sword and let people know out here in this planet, don't fuck with I. You understand? And that's how it works. So, okay, steel sharp as steel. Yeah, I'm just putting my links here so y'all get the game before I close out. If there's any questions, you better shoot them now. You got about less than a minute. And but yeah, the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women, boy, that's some powerful shit. And you know, the publishing companies, they told me that I had to put that amount on the book. 200 on the Amazon, but you can get it for free now. So make right decisions with your money. You dig what I'm saying? Spend on things that's going to last. You understand? All right. So I'm out of here. Peace.
Bass be hitting, pretty ass bitch, she wants some space age pimpin'. She better be ready to walk into a different dimension. Just sign right here and get your job description. No more hard living, you'll be robbing and giving. Seduction and precision, working bag, mighty exquisite. And living in Las Vegas, we ain't gotta make a visit. Vacation overseas so daddy can handle business. 2 birds at a time, that's how you gotta get it. Relax with the stacks, that's how they gotta live it. At ease with women that please, they got their little secrets, but can't keep her from me. She wanna be naughty so she can get a spanking. She wanna be naughty just to get a spanking. She wants to be naughty just to get a spanking. Hey. She wanna be naughty just to get a spanking. She wants to be naughty just to get a spanking. She wanna be naughty just to get a spanking. She wants to be naughty just to get a spanking. Yeah. I love a mad hoe, she just wants some tadpoles. She don't care where they go when she claims she a pro, that's for sure. We gon' see, fuckin' with me. She want her PhD, paper hungry degree. How could I wait at the state of $1? Keep some money on the books cause I'm known as a scholar. So when you strut, you better stunt with all the power. Them headlights be bright in the late night hour. Stay awake and fresh, a nigga take a cold shower. You better not eat or drink by my Eddie Bauer. On my Louis V, who is you to be? A honeybee, turn the money tree. Now we live in a movie for free. She wanna be naughty so she can get a spanking. She wanna be naughty just to get a spanking. Hey. She wanna be naughty just to get a spanking. She wants to be naughty just to get a spanking. Yes. wanna be naughty just to get a spanking. She wants to be naughty just to get a spanking.
Just wanna be with you.